All right, on this video, I'm going to show you how to get better vocals in Audacity. We're also going to look at key presets that I use for my podcasts that help me get better sound, remove unnecessary noise, and also just have the best possible episode. So if you're interested in hearing this, then stay tuned. All right, everyone, thank you so much for clicking into this week's episode. If you're new here, I'm John Evans. I'm a life coach and I'm a podcast host at The Hack Share. I produce weekly podcasts which are all centered around self-help and mental health. Now, the reason I want to make this video, and this isn't a generic podcast video or an episode, this is me providing kind of like a tutorial, is because I've got a lot of podcast friends. Some of them recently have started their podcasts and they're wondering how I record, how I edit my podcast, how do I improve my sound? And to be honest, I just want to share about what I do. I mean, I'm not an expert, I'm still learning, but here are the top tips that I've picked up from my extensive research on how to use Audacity to get the best vocals and also remove that horrible background noise. So let's get into this one. We'll make your vocals go from this.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
And we'll go to this.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
So we're in Audacity, and as you can see, I've got two files here. This is the first, and this is what this sounds like just straight from the recording.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Okay, and this is the edited version.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
So as you can tell that there are two different types there. One is very, very quiet. You can't even hear the background noise yet. The other one is the edited version. So what I'll do is I'll expand into this track so you can have a better look. Firstly, what I do is when I record, I go down and I click this audio track button here and I click multi-view. What multi-view does is you can see that here are the vocals and here is where it's no vocals. So first top tip that I recommend is when you're recording, literally give yourself a buffer. Just record about 5-10 seconds of just nothing. Don't talk, don't breathe, nothing if you can. I'm not saying don't breathe, but you know what I mean. So what this does is when you press record for the first time, you're literally just capturing the audio that's surrounding you. Now with me, I've got trams that are behind me, and when I compress this audio, which means that it improves and amplifies the vocal range, you'll capture then all the background noise, then you can start actually removing that, okay? So the first thing I do is I double click to highlight the tracks. Then what you can do is under the effects tab here, this is where all your effects are. So this is where you'll find things like the noise reduction, the bass, the reverb, everything that you need. If you click into it though, it does get a bit overwhelming because you've got so many different options, but I only use 6 presets. And what I'll do is I'll show you exactly how I use them one by one. So firstly, what I'll do is from the options that I've got here, I will scroll down to graphic EQ. Now this is applying bass and treble, okay? So what I don't do is I do not play with this. I go to manage, and there are 2 presets that I will use. Firstly, I'll use the bass boost. You'll see that the bass is now amplified. I will click OK. Next, I'll go back into the effects. I'll go to graphic EQ again. I'll go to manage. I'll find the preset. And then I'll click treble boost. So there you'll see the treble will actually be amplified. Click that. Now here what you can see is that the vocal range here has increased. So this is much better by choosing the multi-view because you can actually edit better when you actually enable this. And I can go into it in a bit more depth in another video if needed, but this is just to show you how to get better sound. So we've enabled bass, we've enabled treble. Next, what we do is I go down to limiter, I click hard limit. And what I'll do is I'll keep the settings the same. I won't play around with this. I click OK. I'll be honest, I don't really know much what limiter does, but I've heard that it does well, so I just use it. Great tutorial, right? Okay, next, what I'll do is I'll go to my compressor. Now, here are some settings that I've seen online that have been recommended to improve the vocals. When you get into this though, you will see that the settings here are completely different. So this means that with a compressor, it just amplifies the volume without actually clipping it. So I'll put a link to the presets here, but what you can do is you just leave it as it is if you wanted to, but if not, then try the presets that have helped me. I'll put this in the description to show you what the threshold, noise floor, etc., things that I use then on every single recording. This is used on every single thing that I use. So I click OK. Boom. Here what you'll see now is that all the vocals have increased. And now what you've noticed is that the difference between the two is that this doesn't have any noise, but now clearly because this has changed color, this has got noise. So if I click play, can you hear that?
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
So even though the vocals sound quite good, you've still got this really annoying background noise.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Okay, so I really want to get rid of that noise, but I'm still not finished with my vocal improvement. So there's two more things. Next, I will go down to reverb. Now reverb, again, I've played around with these settings. So this isn't like presets of what I found online. This is me just literally getting a snippet of the vocal, previewing it. So then I will then use the toggles here to then make sure that I've got enough reverb without making me sound like I'm in, you know, a concert hall or whatever. Just so I've got a nice little background ting to my voice, makes it sound a little bit more studio-like. Reverb is something that a lot of YouTubers and a lot of podcast hosts it's kind of a hit and miss. With me, I like to have a little bit of reverb, but what you can do is play around with the settings. If it works for you, use it. If not, don't. But this is the settings that I use. I've just played around with this. It's taken me about, well, an hour to get to this stage, but I'll just click OK.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Okay. So the vocals have improved, but what I've found is that the vocal range and the volume is quite loud. So I want to kind of normalize that and limit it so that it's actually more audible. It's not clipping and it's not too distorted for when I export it. So what I'll do is I've kept this highlighted. I'll go to effects again and I will go to normalise. I'll leave this as it is and just click OK. So now what you can see when I press play.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Okay. And if I go to the edited version.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Okay, so it's exactly the same in terms of the vocals, how they sound, but the only issue that we've got is the noise in the background, so we need to get rid of this. So what we'll do is highlight a section here. When you're removing noise, the key is just to grab a section which is solely the background noise. If you can hear yourself speaking or breathing, don't highlight that section to play around with the background noise and remove it, because then what will happen is that it will remove your breath, but it will also affect the actual quality and recording of your audio if you apply this filter throughout. So just make sure that what you want to remove noise from is just the background with nothing else. So I'll just listen to the bit that I've highlighted. No vocals on that whatsoever. So what I'll do is I'll remove this noise from the whole recording. So what you'll do, highlight that section, again go to your effects. Now you get onto noise reduction. Get noise profile means that this gets the noise profile of that section that you've pulled out. So it's just on this highlighted bit here. So because it's got the noise profile, because it's captured it, what you do is click the whole clip, click on effect, noise reduction, and I just click OK. And what you'll see is that here, it's removed some of the noise, but I guarantee if I play it, because I can still see blue, that it's still got noise on it.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Very faintly. So what I'll do is I'll highlight it again, click on noise reduction, noise profile, capture the noise that I want to remove, highlight it all, effect, noise reduction, click OK. There you go. Okay, so now you can start seeing that there's still a little bit of background noise because you can see some blue highlighted here, but
here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
It sounds okay. I might give it one more go through. Highlight again, noise reduction, because I can still see some blue noise in the background. So capture that, noise reduction, all of it. Okay, so now it should.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
Okay. So now you're probably thinking, well, what are these bits here? Okay, so if I zoomed in, I'm on a Mac, so I'm pressing Command and 1. So if I wanted to scroll across this bit here, if I highlighted it and press play, that's a pop. Okay, so if I want to remove that, what I can do is just press delete, takes away the pop. If I want to go back to the full recording, I can still see that there's some here. What is that? It's a pop. You could tell that it's not actual vocals because it's very, very small and hidden within the actual recording. So if I remove that, what you'll know is true vocals is where you've got the pink line here and the pink recording bars. To be honest, if anybody who is very audio efficient and pink bars isn't the correct terminology, then I do apologize, but this is how I record, how I edit my Audacity. I just want to make it as simple as possible. I love recording podcasts. Editing the audio is something that I always struggle with. So I've just tried to make this as quick and efficient as possible so I can edit, make my vocals sound great and move on, right? So I just know these by the pink bars.
Here is a test of me recording via Audacity.
There you go. That's it. So I've removed all the pops. I've improved the vocals. Me personally, I'm quite happy with this. So I hope you like it. Very short video. And I hope it gets to the point. It's not too technical. I just try and keep it easy. But anyway, thank you so much and stay tuned for the next.